It's 6 o'clock, and what we'll do is give some basic instructions before we get into the business. With the new state order, we're not spread out 6 foot up here. So correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor, but my understanding is whoever's speaking can take the mask off to speak and then put it back on. And then if anybody else raises their hand to speak, or else you won't be able to, sorry. Be like Governor, get up here.
It's okay.
But that way we can manage within the guidelines since we're definitely not 6 foot from each other, but we can understand our conversation with it on. So it'll make it a little more cumbersome, but we'll be fine. So before we call to order, just a reminder that as we go, whenever any of you, when I ask you for questions or anything, I'll put mine back on and we'll just wait till whoever pulls their mask down, talks, or raises their hand, and we'll figure it out. I don't think it's high science, but just, I'm not critical of that. I mean, it's not high science between us figuring out who talks. We'll figure it out. So we call the meeting to order though at 6 o'clock on July the 20th, 2020. And we are here in Chambers, plus the live stream. Kathy has our live stream going for anybody, any citizen that's wanting to be a part of the watch. And so we'll call it to order. We'll start with our minutes from July 6, 2020 finance meeting. And this one's simple. I don't know if we have to get our mask off of that, but unless somebody has a question. But you've got your July 6, 2020 minutes. Any questions, comments, or corrections on the minutes for July 6? Hearing no comments or no muffled sounds, we entertain a motion to approve the minutes as written for July 6, 2020 Finance Committee meeting.
I make a motion to approve July 6, 2020 Finance Committee meeting.
We have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Motion was by Jim Hughes, second by Connie Thompson. Yeah. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Okay. And we'll jump down to invoices. And just a reminder as well, all council members are here. And the way this is organized, they can ask a question, but only Finance Committee can vote. We'll start now with our invoices. We have $210,920.10 for invoices for this period. And so we'll start, we'll go first through the committee members, and then anyone else that has a question. So let me get my papers here. We'll start with Connie Thompson. Let her start with any questions.
I know it's hard to believe. I don't have any.
Okay. Go to Jim Hughes.
Like Mr. Cowell, I know we got a lot of money out there, but of course, 170 somewhere around, it's close to $180,000 for insurances and pensions and everything else. But there's a few in there that I had questions for, and one we brought this up last time about pool chemicals, and this is page 2 of 6. I think it's almost $900 some on pool chemicals again. Are we going? Why are we spending so much money?
That should have been the last, if that was the last invoice we had, that was the last bit of hypo I got put into the 300 gallons tank. I only got 100, or only got 300 gallons. We're supposed to hold together for hold 600. That's just going to do us for the end of the season. Then I went and bought a few more things to just keep floaters in there, so we ain't got to use as much, and just keep it going that way till the end of the, till we're ready to finish up. That should be, that should be the last CI Thornburg. Anything like that.
Even though there's nobody swims, you still got to keep
Yes.
balance.
Yeah.
And this is nothing compared to what we usually.
Oh, no. I mean, we're losing water because of the evaporation, but, you know, I had to put that in time. That should be, I have another one from Lowe's I got last week where I get my own little floaters for the pool, put chlorine tablets in it to help stabilize it too. So that should be it other than water.
Okay, thank you. And then, no Lowe's, we've got a lot of stuff where we've got $20-some thousand on Lowe's, but there's one on the Lowe's card. I don't have page 1.
On P cards,
Page
page 1.
Well, I don't have page, I missed page 1 and 4, so.
4 pages.
On page 2.
Page 2, P card.
Page 2, beach rentals, $2,000 some for a bunch of stuff, some rental stuff. Is that at the city park?
No, that was the rentals for the lights, to do all the repair work on the lights down at Shawnee.
Okay. And that was a lift for some rentals and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was at the city park. But I answered that. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you. I have no questions, just a few observations. Again, our firemen's pension funds, 42,000 contribution, mentioned, Jim mentioned the police, I think it was 11,000 change. And a few, the 10,900 for Bub's project on the wine cellar house, the HVAC is in this, so we're glad to get that done. So that was primarily it. Then, like Jim mentioned, our insurances in COVA, PEA, all those things that add up. I didn't see anything in question, so thank you all. We'll go on around to any other council members that are not on committee. Any questions on that? We'll start down here with Greg, and then we'll come to Linda, and over to Doug, and to Council Scipio. So I don't have to keep up and down, just we all go one by one.
The only thing I have is on the purchase order as well. On the first page, where there's 5 boxes of masks, 50 on Bubs, on 50 each. And then there was another one up here, from Connie Faulkner, where there was, 1 box of 500, 213.47. Is there any way those could be meshed, the ordering of them, or is it just up to whatever the department needs?
They question for the mayor.
Well-
Just where you can get them.
When the governor issued the last order, well, not only that, but before that, we had an issue with court. And when people come into court, we have a sign that says, if you don't have a mask, you can't come into court. So we had to scrounge around and get masks to put out so that people coming to court would have it. So with everything going on, we figured that people coming in and out of City Hall, they have to have it, we're not going to tell them to leave. So we ordered 500 to have one reserved here at City Hall. And then down at the rec center, whenever there's an event going on or something going on down here, Bub will have, their boxes of 50 by 5, so that's 250. So that's how.
Yeah, we didn't know about the box on.
No,
Oh, you might.
I asked you to go ahead and get some more, because.
And I'd say we probably need to get some more.
If this thing progresses, they're gonna be harder and harder to come by.
Yep.
And, so that's what we're doing, stockpiling. These are all reimbursable under the CARES Act. So,
And let you know, page 1 of the big card is the count.
I didn't have it.
It's, you know, it's return stuff to pay the bill.
Anything else, Linda?
Okay.
I think I'm good. Council Scipio? Okay. Okay, so we went through our invoices, again, $210,920.10. And thank you, department heads, for working with us on that, answering questions. With that, we have a motion to recommend the full council payment for these.
I make a motion to send a full council payment in the invoices in the amount of $210,928.10.
So we have a motion by Connie Thompson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Jim Hughes. Any other discussion on our invoices?
How much of that did you say was insurances, Jim?
I'm sorry, sir.
How much of that did you say was insurances and pensions?
Well, there's pensions and everything, so it's close to $180,000 in there with everything.
Thank you.
It's around close now.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Thank you all. We'll drop down now to ordinances and resolutions. A, first reading of ordinance 788, renewing City of Dunbar's participation in the housing consortium. And I'll let the mayor explain. I think it's related to our Dunbar Housing Authority, but I'll let him explain because that's been 3 years since we did it the last time.
it's a 3-year renewal. This particular contract has been updated, as a renewal clause and an automatic renewal, so it's a good ordinance thing every 3 years. Basically what it's geared up for is the city of Charleston receives money from And they do all the administrative work to make low-interest loans and housing assistance loans to low to moderate income people through the housing consortium. So by being a member, a Dunbar resident, a Nitro resident, you saw a list of all the communities in the Kanawha Valley. We were all part of the consortium. So anybody within those communities can apply through the consortium with the city of Charleston for assistance in home purchases and so forth like that. So it doesn't require monetary participation by the city, only our group participation to get our numbers up to increase the population base for the eligibility of funding that they put into the program.
So thank you, Mayor. So again, if you hear that explanation, there's no cost to us. The Charleston loan is not large enough to qualify for everything, so we all join together. The funds are available, and it's a benefit to our citizens as well, because then in turn, they get an opportunity for housing assistance. Any questions concerning that? Again, that should be pretty easy, no-brainer, but any questions? Okay, here none, do we have a motion to recommend the full council our approval to renew this participation in the Kanawha Housing Consortium?
I make a motion to send the full council the first reading of ordinance 788, renewing the city of Dunbar's participation in the Kanawha Housing Consortium.
So we have a motion by Councilman Connie Thompson. We have a second. Councilman Jim Hughes is the second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. I think I called you Councilman, I'm sorry. Council lady, sorry. Resolution, out of habit. Talking resolution of the city council approving a budget adjustment to reconcile the balance carryover of the coal severance fund. In our budget, we projected, clerk, make sure I'm correct on this, we projected 87,310, and said we come in at 80,972, 6338 below that. Is that, did I interpret that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it's simply just to make that adjustment and send it on to the state auditor's office. Anything you need to add?
No, sir.
Okay. Any questions for the clerk about this? Again, this is just making sure our numbers match up, and there's not a problem, meaning that when you come into this process, you have to project, and you don't know those exact numbers until after June 30 is done, everything's reconciled, so it's just catching up with all our numbers. Any other questions? We have a motion to, and when we get to full council, it's a roll call, but for this, it's just a motion to second approval to send this, recommending that adjustment.
I make a motion that we send a resolution that the council approving the adjustments and reconcile the balance and carry over the coal severance fund.
We have a motion from Jim Hughes. We have a second.
Second.
Second from Connie Thompson. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Again, the reason normally I don't list the names, but with our mask on, it may be hard on video to tell who's saying motions. That's why I'm trying to recognize who it is. New business. You've seen the estimate from the garage door company. The first one there, TNT garage doors. And there's two repair. On that, there are three items. We are only approving the purchase of a new door. The other two were just maintenance and have already been taken care of. That's within our daily operations. So we're just approving one new door. You see it there, a request from Scott, Public Works. And that is, there's so many questions for Scott, Public Works, about the new door.
No, rest everything else taken care of.
Do what?
Everything else is already taken care of.
Yes, sir. The company that you sent down there was Johnny on the spot. The new door, where the weight is so heavy, we had to shove it up all the time by putting a chain fob on it so that we can drag it with the chain and won't be tearing up anymore. There's no really place to put a power lifter over on that garage. It's the old garage.
Other questions for Public Works? Again, the bid is $1,988 even, so we have a motion to replace this garage door by TNT Garage Doors Incorporated.
I make a motion to send to full council approval to replace the garage door at the public works at a cost of $1,988 by TNT Garage Doors Incorporated.
So we have a motion by Connie Thompson. Do we have a second?
I second.
Second is Jim Hughes. Any other discussion or questions? All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Again, just a clarification, those watching on video, the actual committee that can make the motion vote is Connie Thompson, Jim Hughes, myself, and Steve Arnott. And so that's why if there would be a difference, we'd sort it out. There's more, but traditionally, it's just one of us four that make the motion, the second. It's not that the other council members are asleep at the wheel. They're here as council members, but are not actually on this committee. They have a voice, but not a vote, so it's just the four. So it's the full council, and the other four have their votes as well. B, approval to enter a contract with E Block Masonry on the police department, $14,500. And we've got a good history working with that company, but I'll let this be Hugh or the chief. Which one wants to explain? Hugh, to explain
I
that.
thought it was the chief that did all this.
To explain that contract.
I had him come over, I had Chuck come over and look at it. He brought another guy with him. And what happened when we built the original, that wall in the first time, where the wall failed, there was a walk door in the exterior wall. And I don't know if it didn't get tied in properly or what the issue was with it structurally. It shifted a little bit and it caused some cracking inside one of the holding cells. Nothing that they can escape out of, easily repaired. The problem with it is on the outside brickwork, there's cracks in it that are getting bad. So we came with the best scenario to come up with for the least amount of money that will fix the problem is go in there, cut a footer out of the sidewalk, pour a new concrete footer in to support the new brickwork, and run a whole new brick wall up in front of the old brick wall. It'll be tied in with brick ties, and then when we get to the top, we'll put coating over the whole new section of the roof to warrant. It'll make the threshold a little bit deeper on the door, but other than that, you're really not going to see anything, any differences there, and it will help stabilize the rest of the wall. We're not really sure how that wall got to be the way it is, but it comes out and kind of arcs back on itself with the lintel. We just don't really know what happened, why it was designed or built the way it was. But short of tearing out that whole wall, which would expose the secure area of the police department to, it would basically make it unsecure. So we thought this was the most practical, efficient way.
So you're gonna put a 30-foot wide by 14, 15 foot tall brick wall.
Right. It'll be
all in front of the building.
Yeah, it'll be all brand new brick. They'll all be matching. If you ever looked at that, when they matched it as best they could,
Right.
You just can't do it. So these will all be brand new brick. They'll be brick tied into the building, so they'll stay in place better.
Red bricks,
On my call.
whatever color.
Black and white brick.
Huh?
Black and white brick.
I like black.
Maybe we should make it blue.
Blue's okay.
Any other questions for Hugh on that? And again, it's a very detailed estimate by E Block, if you're familiar with those terms. So any other questions for Hugh or the chief about, again, it really won't affect your day-to-day operations of the chief, the way they're doing it.
No, it affects us now because we don't have a jail cell with the users. We're down to one cell. It affects us now, it won't when they're done.
How soon can they start on this year?
I haven't talked to him on that. I'll give him a call in the morning once y'all approve this. I'll tell him to jump on quick as he can.
Any other questions or any other council members have a question?
What about the rest of the building down through there? They're all pretty well tied in together. Maybe you can look to it and make sure that.
Well, actually, it will actually line these up a little bit better because there's about a 4-inch offset from the building east and west of it. When we put our bricks in, it's pretty much gonna come right out to the front of the other two buildings. There
Flush.
won't be, yeah, it'll almost be flush. I'm not gonna guarantee it's gonna be perfectly flush, but it'll be pretty close.
Okay, but what about the structure of those roads?
They're all,
They're fine.
they're all independent. Well, they're not tied together.
Right, yeah, but just because they share a common wall does not make them bonded, yeah.
Bowling alley, that's what it's practicing.
Any other questions? Thank you. With that, do we have a motion to send this to full council, recommendation of E block?
I make a motion, we send full council to D-block masonry to repair the police station department of the wall over there. It costs $14,500.
So a motion by Jim Hughes, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Connie Thompson. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. Then we drop down to fire engine 552. Seems like that's on the agenda every time. The chief is on vacation. Deputy chief.
Jason Burke.
I know that, but I get the assistant deputy back and forth mixed up on the titles.
It's all the same.
Do you have, I checked this morning and see, is it in the shop yet? Or, I know it's delivered down there, but they actually work
Yeah,
on it.
they took it out there last, probably last Tuesday, I think. And Chief actually forwarded me an email this morning of the repair quote that I may need for later this week if they get it finished. But that's about all we know.
So it's, and what we did, if you're watching, again, this is just ratification because the mayor and we agree on this one's fire engine or things like that. You get it done, and then we'll sort out the details because of public safety. So it's already there. It's just us ratifying the amount. Now that we've got a detailed estimate, $1,739.29. Any questions for the fire department? We just hope to get this one back and can get it to work in more than 2-3 weeks
That'd be nice.
in a row without something happening to it. We have a motion then to ratify this payment. Again, it's already in works and kind of it's a safety issue, but to ratify the payment to Charleston Fleet, $1,739.29.
I make a motion for ratification of the payment to Charleston Fleet Sources in about $1,739.29 for the repairs to fire engine 552.
Thank you. And the motion is by Connie Thompson. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Second by Jim Hughes. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. And we drop down now to dump truck 17. Which one is this guy? 17, just put a number.
It's the non-CDL large truck.
Okay.
It's not the recycle truck, it's the one below it.
Okay. And so there's a request for approval, $2,102.54 by Matheny. So any questions for Public Works for Scott Elliott? Hearing none, then do we have a motion to approve these repairs to get this truck back on the road?
I make a motion that we send full council for the fixed dump truck number 17, being motor $2,102.54.
Motion by Jim Hughes. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Connie Thompson. Any other final discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Thank you all. And we'll jump now. We have several items from the clerk. So I'll put my mask back on and let her. So Connie, what if you want, you can go through all your things and then I'll come back and we'll go through the questions for you. Just go ahead and go through your different reports.
Okay, give everybody, the end of the year, our last month of June, short budget. Of course, we will, next council, we will have that all worked out and, of course, we're still reconciling parts and we'll have a budget adjustment there. I'm not sure quite how much we're carrying over, but there is some. Also give everybody our statements from the state government. We have $489,122.58 in the iPass account where people make payments on the city website for the municipal fees. We have 286, 930, and 60 cents just in one of our general funds, which is our rainy day fund. We have 219, 984, and 98 cents in another rainy day fund. I'm missing. I guess I skipped one we got.
No, it's in your fireworks.
Yeah.
Excess fund. Or at least we have.
At least I skipped mine, apparently. How much is in the
That's,
fire?
the final for this month's $52,926.21. That's the increase in 2,700.
And then there's our, cash flow that's in and out of the bank, what we have available there, and then our expense and revenue.
So if you want to know if anyone has any questions for the clerk, and I'll highlight a couple of things that she's presented, but any questions for her first?
The police car has to be gone, we have to pay on there, is that correct?
One has, one is not. Help me out on that one, about the police cars.
No, I'm sorry.
One has been paid for.
No, we haven't paid for any
Okay,
cars.
you paid for all.
We paid for the equipment.
Okay,
One was paid out of the, one of the policeman's funds,
Right.
and one was paid out of the general fund.
so the
Hasn't
general,
been with, has. Hasn't been.
so we'll have to make that as a budget adjustment, you know, that specifically.
When did we pay the fee?
Oh, yeah, we didn't pay the police
So
cars,
the car has
just
not.
the equipment
Okay.
you sold me.
So we ordered 2 cars, they're on back orders, and so all the equipment that goes on, we paid before June 30, but 2 cars. Do you have, Chief, do you have an update on when those are coming in?
Yeah, we checked on it just this week. One scheduled to be in production September 7th, and one scheduled to be produced September 14th. I don't know how they come up to the dates, but
Yeah.
I don't expect we're gonna get them until probably November.
I say, they're gonna produce them, they're gonna ship them.
And the way it's set up, the 1 car purchase is out of the police escrow, so it's not time dependent on the budget. The second car is, so since it wasn't in time, we'll have to make an adjustment so that that money doesn't vanish, it's still there for. And traditionally, in the past, we were able to get cars, you know, we approved it within 3 weeks we had them. This one's been almost 6 months in with it.
It's open now. It's open now. The COVID is what's causing.
Okay, delayed production.
Yeah, Dunbar, it's hard to have any new cars or used cars or anything.
Yeah, because all the plants are shut
It's
down
now.
for 6 weeks. So it's back. Any other questions for the clerk?
Mercedes.
Just I'll highlight a couple things. As the clerk mentioned, we have our revenues, our cash flow. You can see based on that, our income was $6.585,231.20, and our expenses was $6.502,000, so we're under $82,000. Yes, she went through the iPass, all our accounts there. The increases in the and firemen have a little bit more. Just clarification, that is fireman's part, it's not their main account. It's 50-some thousand, it's just dropped in the bucket, but that almost 53,000 now, that is collections from Datamax on B&Os that were not paid in the past, they collected. And also there's some municipal fees that were collected from previous fiscal years. So that's what that is to go into their account. And then as you mentioned, the short budget should be 100% or below, and most of our departments were below that. So we think the department heads, again, should be getting that finalized after everything's reconciled. Sales tax, clerk, you want to address the sales tax or mayor? it's, we got that report.
Sales tax was down just a little bit. We received in 223,508.99 for our first quarter. And, first quarter last year was 229, so 6,500 we were down, so that's not bad,
How much?
considering
Yeah, how much?
6,000.
Section 55, 54.95 and 81 cents, down 2.4%. Are you, can't hear that thing. Are you getting any ideas as far as, I mean, I know we have some common sense ideas that Kroger and Aldi was up about 15 to 20%, restaurants are down 20%. Do you get any other feedback? I know this report for the state is not real detailed, but any other feedback about what business, what, not individual business, what sectors of business did well with the sales tax and which ones were destroyed essentially with COVID?
Yeah, no, not really.
Okay.
Not a B&O.
The issue is that the state tax department will not give us a detailed report on the sales tax collected. So we have no idea where the $223,000 came from. Now, what we will do, or what Connie will do once the number comes in, when we get our B&O tax report, you know, theoretically it should be down also, because this $5,495 equates to $549,000 in loss of gross sales in the city of Dunbar. So there's a lot of businesses that have taken a pretty big hit over this thing. And that same thing, that same number would be reflected in the B&O tax. We can see it, and then there might be other smaller businesses and stuff that, you know, that maybe the B&O tax loss may be more than the sales tax, because not everything is sales taxable. So,
and I know the report, like the mayor mentioned, they give very little, but you can figure out trends, because you know the restaurants are down about 20% just simply from the model of the restaurant, 60 drive-through, 40 dine-in, and it's flipped a little bit. Yeah, we know that Kroger and Aldi were cranking about 15 to 20% above. Does that sound fair, Connie, from your experience in the industry? So it appears that, again, you can't prove this, but it appears that Kroger and Aldi carried our water in that quarter. And a lot of the small businesses were really,
Drugstores.
yeah, the drugstores, you know, they were really, the rest were really suffering. And if you look into the report we all got, it's easy to figure this trend out as well, because if you look, for example, at Nitro, their main city actually has less retail establishments than we do, but they have Walmart and Lowe's. And when everybody got stimulus, what did they do? They were in a Walmart, Lowe's, and you look, Nitro 200%ed us in that same period. So retail and the things that were open was crushing for them. St. Albans, for example, you know, in the traditional sense, they've got the Moses Mile, which carries their load, but as we just talked, car sales were crushed. So St. Albans did better than us, but they were.
you don't get a 1% sales tax.
Yeah, and so, and they have very little retail also, so it shows the difference in the Walmart. There's no Walmart there, there's no Lowe's, and they were 100,000 less. Southbridge, on the other hand, which is all that retail, was $1 million just for one municipality. So it shows how vital retail is to our city. It also shows how hard the economy is struggling right now as well. So, anything else, Mayor, on the sales tax or clerk? Okay, we have any other, that's all that's on our agenda, but anything Mayor or clerk has related to finance, anything else you need to share?
We filed for Connie did. Connie and Bill filed the second filing with the CARES Act. It was how much?
300 something.
351.
So that would be the third, it's the the second report reflecting the third 30-day period.
Correct.
Okay.
And then tomorrow, they have to file the
Third and
the
the
third, which is the fourth month, which is for
June.
the month of June. So that's due by close of business tomorrow. So it'll probably be close to the same filing amount.
So for those watching now, it gets confusing. The first filing was for 60 days. Second filing's 30. Third filing's 30. To bring us up to June. Some of our sister cities have already started getting their money from the first. Did they give us any hints how much will be approved?
No, we keep asking for more information.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it's hard to judge because we don't know the structure of their application. And one thing is they have approved and didn't approve it. We haven't gotten that detailed information from anybody yet. I mean, we've gotten some number indications from a couple of the communities, but there's no
Tell us what they.
detailed analysis as to what they approved and didn't approve. Now, Bill Hines is very active in this. He knows a lot of the people that are doing the review process, and even trained several of them. So, he's very methodical about how to file and then orient them as to what their position is on certain requests for reimbursement. So, I don't know, I mean, I don't see this amount of money going through until December as they projected. If you looked at the governor's budget, he projected $200 million to go toward reimbursement to municipalities and subordinate government entities, county commissions, and so forth. So if you look at Charleston, Small County Commission, some of those ambulance authority and transit authority, some of the other bigger communities, I mean, there's probably already been $70 million obligated out. So we'll see how it parcels out where we get acting more.
Thank you all for working on that. And again, it's just, we're at their mercy because this is a new system for everybody. Any questions from any council members for Mayor or Clerk about the CARES Act? Any other questions related to finances for the city of Dunbar? Thank you all for your help tonight and cooperation with the Owner Office of Masonry. Hearing no more financial questions, business for the city of Dunbar, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion we adjourn.
Motion, do we have a second? All in favor, say aye. Thank you.